and thank you to the audience that's joining us live online for this streaming broadcast. Just a couple of quick ground rules and we'll get started here. The candidates will each have 3 minutes to make an opening statement. We will ask them a series of questions. They'll each have 2 minutes to respond. We'll reserve 3 minutes for each of them at the end to make a closing statement. Candidates, after your 2 minutes is up, there is not a rebuttal time after both have responded. You can use a portion of your time in the next question or in the closing statement to rebut anything you care to address at that point. Again, we welcome questions from the audience. If you are watching online, you are also able to submit questions that way. And we are ready to begin. Let me introduce our 2 candidates. Immediately to my left is Newcombe Clark, commercial real estate broker. Newcombe is running as an independent candidate. Seated next to him is John Floyd, an accountant. John is the Republican candidate in the race. The third candidate, Karsten Hanke, the incumbent councilman who is running as a Democrat, declined to participate in this particular debate, saying that he had committed to a number of others and that he did not schedule himself to attend this one. So let us begin with opening statements. I have 2 names in front of me, and I'm just going to open up one, and it is Newcombe. So Newcombe, 3 minutes to make your opening statement.
Well, thank you all for coming in here tonight or logging in on the tail end of a busy work week. Let me start with extending my respect and appreciation to John Floyd for being an engaged and willing opponent. I also want to thank Icon for test driving this streaming service. Hopefully we'll see more of it. And of course, thanks to AnnArbor.com for hosting, Tony for moderating. What you guys do here is so important to the strength of our democracy and keeping us all well informed at a time in our history where we can't afford not to be. So thank you for doing it. This particular debate is a unique opportunity for the public to engage with us directly. Please ask us the hard questions. Demand of us detailed, thoughtful responses. I'd like to use this time to give you an idea of my ideas and beliefs so you have some specific things to follow up with me during the Q&A. First off, I believe being your representative is a privilege and an honor. It's not a right, and it's not to be taken for granted. This is why giving you the most opportunities possible to learn about me prior to casting your vote should be expected by you and respected by us candidates. I believe that there are 2 types of politicians, those that want to be something and those that want to do something. Well, I'm here to do something, a lot of things. I will focus my efforts on fiscal common sense and the protection and promotion of the great quality of life that we enjoy here in Ann Arbor. That's it. Common sense with the budget and a livable city. These are simple tasks, simple but not easy. We live in complex, difficult times, and difficult times call for the acceptance of inconvenient truths. I believe in being honest with you. In the face of challenges, you deserve the truth of the situation, and you deserve options to choose from. It's my job to create and present you with these choices. It is not my job to lick my finger and check the wind, or, as is unfortunately too common, duck my head in the sand and hope our problems go away before I have to act on them. I believe being a council member is an opportunity to serve the community. It is not a stepping stone to further political ambitions, nor should it be a way to pay my mortgage on my lake house. To this end, I will only serve a single term, and I will donate my salary to charity. I will not give you 4 months of service and 18 months of campaigning for my re-election. You have me for the full 2 years. That's about 50 meetings. 50 meetings is a lot, and in that time I think we can accomplish a lot together. I believe in letting you know what I think about the issues, and to that end, I urge you to go to our website, www.nukethefifth.org, and please remember to vote on November 2nd, and I'd be honored if I got your vote. Thank you.
Have you ever wondered who will pay to park at the very bottom of the library lot, 4 and 5 stories underground? Would you? Have you ever wondered who will pay the garage's bonds if people won't pay that far underground, won't park that far underground? The only thing council proposes to put on top of the garage is a convention center and hotel. In 2007, Congressional hearings on taxpayer-financed stadiums, convention centers, and hotels concluded that the public justification for public financing, including construction financing with tax-exempt bonds, is that there is an investment that brings jobs and consumers to a city's downtown. Academic research on the value to economic development, however, has universally concluded that sports stadiums, convention centers, and hotels do not increase economic activity in downtown areas. The IRS testified that the only way to finance such construction with tax-free bonds is to, quote, subsidize the repayment of those bonds from governmental sources, including generally applicable taxes. Have you ever wondered why it is that the only use council is considering for the space above the underground garage is a convention center and hotel financed by the city? These questions may have reasonable answers, but nearly 2 years after our Fifth Ward incumbent took office, I do not hear these or other probing questions asked about big money issues. Council's culture seems to discourage probing questions, period. With our city manager-run government, asking probing questions with goodwill is our part-time council's job. As the only Republican running in the city of Ann Arbor, I note that while Ann Arbor issues aren't necessarily partisan, years of one-party government has neither helped public discussion nor encouraged accountability. It's time for more competition. Our ward has great goodwill for our likable, well-educated incumbent, and rightly so. Like us, he supports the environment and wants to end global warming. I applaud his ombudsman work for the West Side Farmers Market, Mac Pool, and the skate park. However, it strikes me that the interests of Fifth Ward residents could be better represented at City Hall. We need different skills. I want to represent you to ensure that probing questions get asked routinely, and I ask for your vote in November.
Okay, thank you both. We will begin with a series of questions on the issues. The first question that I have for you was sent in by a reader who was familiar with this event, wasn't able to be here tonight, but sent the question in ahead of time. The city is considering a plan under which it would allow the University of Michigan to build a parking structure on city property as the first phase of what is a proposed transit center, Fuller Road Transit Center. Opponents say this would violate the spirit of the charter, which requires a vote of residents before park property is sold. John, in this sequence, you will answer this question first, then Newcombe. Should the city put this issue on the ballot, even though the property is not being sold to the University of Michigan?
Thank you. Well, to me, the university, at the end of the day, when the garage is finished, will have all the rights and all the responsibilities of ownership. They will control who uses the lot, and they will receive all the revenues from it. They will maintain the lot. They will police the lot. I don't see what assets city residents would have from this. So it, to me, is a university asset. There is an irony that if we actually structured this as a sale transaction and the city was paid for the lot, we'd have to have a vote on it. The city is attempting to give the land away, and therefore they claim there is no sale, and the residents get no money for the lot. I think it is not necessarily playing straight with the voters to suggest that as long as the city doesn't receive money for the lot, we haven't turned it over to the university. We lose in both counts. I think we should have a vote. And if the lot really is the best place for university commuters to park, I think that would likely come out in any public discussion. I'm not opposed to the lot per se. I want the public discussion, and I want to hear the arguments for and against that particular location for a university commuter parking lot, which to me has no connection to any once and future train station that may or may not be built near the same property.